If it's first game breaks, no games, you know it up, put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, do the game, tap, this win it. First you again, here for the first man. Can everybody keep it up 6 minutes?
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
All I know is go Vols, because that's all I know. Go Vols!
I don't know. Truly, like, I don't know how I could answer that because I don't know what it would take. Really, I don't know what it would be until I feel accomplished. If we win that natty, when we win that natty, then I'll say, like, my story's been good.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo, right here.
Well, I mean, obviously, we've spent, 4 years, trying to change the culture, trying to instill in these young men how blessed they are, to have an opportunity to play somewhere like the University of Tennessee. And what an honor it is to have that T on the side of your helmet, and that we're always playing for something bigger than us individually.
Hey, it's us against the world, fellas. Yeah. It's us against the world, fellas. Don't nobody believe in us. Yeah. Don't nobody believe in us. We don't need nobody to believe in us. I don't believe in you. I believe in you. I know you a dog. I know you a dog. I know we some dogs, man. Hey, all this preparation we put in, all this been talking about. Hey, it's time to go release pain, man. It's time to go put in real. Let's go. Tennessee on 2, 1, 2, Tennessee. Ball, Tennessee, ready. Ball, Tennessee, ready. Ball, Tennessee, ready. Oh. Balls you.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. The boys are back together. Foul Ming's in the house. Vols Scoops is here. Coach Jay is not going to be with us today. Man, I texted him. I said, doesn't feel right. Like, it feels like if we're talking signing day, Coach should be here, but Coach is out on the grass coaching up a little ball out in Texas at a camp. So hope everything's going great for him. But it is early signing day. What a chaotic freaking day, man. Look, I expected some of this stuff. Some of this stuff I did not expect. The paperwork is in. The pen has now hit the paper. Legend Bay is the news of the day. Flips back to Tennessee from Ohio State. I made a video this morning, and I basically said, yeah, Legend Bay's not coming to Tennessee, and then I moved on to the next dude. Legend Bay shocks the world. 4-star defensive lineman Carter Gooden flips to Tennessee. Not Vanderbilt, but Tennessee. From UCLA, 4-star edge rusher Jordan Carter just picked Tennessee over Auburn and Georgia Tech. Celeste Moa is going to delay some things. No running back in this class. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But Josh Heupel is about to close out with the highest-rated class he's had since arriving here, as of now sitting at 5th. You got 7 guys in the top 100, 15 guys ranked in the On3/Rivals 300 Scoops. It's been a heck of a day. How we feeling? What do you like about this class so far? Anything surprise you today?
I know I'm like a kind of, still young, but I feel like a little kid again, man. Like when, National Signing Day, waking up, getting that little itch, waiting to see what kind of happens and transpires. And like you said, some surprising things that have gone Tennessee's way, itching around at Legend Bay the last few weeks, gets that one across the finish line. A lot of, storylines to that one we'll get into, I'm sure, all around, from Ohio State fans and the Tennessee side of things. But what a huge, huge pickup that is, a playmaker, all around the special athlete that was just born to play football. And like you said, man, Carter Gooden, the guy that was a UCLA commit, flips to Tennessee over Vanderbilt when they were pushing heavy there. You got a huge defensive lineman with Jordan Breeze Carter over Auburn and Georgia Tech. That's a huge one. And right now, you're obviously waiting for the news on Alabama D-line commit J.J. Finch. There's been some buzz around there. Could Tennessee get that one across the finish line? But Boogie, like you said, Josh Heupel looking to close on a top 5 class if possible.
Fowl, jump in here. What do you think about today? What shocked you? Anything shock you besides Legend Bay? I know you were kind of laughing. I wish you guys could have heard the 2 minutes before we went live when we were all going nuts celebrating. And then I feel like, hey, how we doing? Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. Chaotic day, man.
At some point, we just said, roll the tape. Let's put us on here, man. Get out here and celebrate with everybody else. Man, it's just been a wild day. Like, we just talked the other day and how mundane we thought signing day would go. We knew who we thought we had, who we didn't think we were going to get. Some big names that we'd already had, like Faison and Gabriel Ascendon and guys like that we felt pretty solid with. We're all excited, but it wasn't like a surprise. We're kind of rolling into this thing. Then I opened up the Twitterverse this morning, and I'm like, okay, I got a little notification here. No, there's like 12 notifications, and it's just absolutely rolling for the Vols right out the gate. I got to say, the Legend thing caught me off guard. I wanted to talk. I told you off camera I wanted to talk about it a little bit the other night. Why maybe Heartline wasn't mentioned more in some of these other coaching searches, and what a big name he is in recruiting. Well, as soon as I saw that out there, I was like, okay. There might be some smoke here, and that might be my most surprising flip of the day. But here we had a couple flips. I was genuinely surprised, man. I'm excited. I think this could be one of the best classes we've had in a long time. Obviously, not just by the number ranking, but just the level of elite talent and athletes we have on this roster. This could be a program changing class. I mean, not only we keep talking about taking the next step, bringing in a class like this could help you get there.
I think it's interesting, worth noting. A lot of people today, a little shell-shocked. A lot of people shell-shocked today going, whoa, top 5 class? Where'd this come from? How did we do this? Well, when I say that, I mean more like you're still dialed in. Like, yes, we didn't expect Legend Bay to flip. You know exactly who Legend Bay is. You know what his story is. Absolutely. You know what the history is, right? There's a lot of people out there that maybe don't follow recruiting as closely, and they're going, what the heck? We just signed a possible top 5 class. And, it's worth noting, the NCAA investigation. Boogie, I'm tired of hearing about it. I don't care. I don't want to hear about the past. Guess what? We're finally clear of that thing. That is in the past. And I say that knowing that the Vanderbilt game, we couldn't have unofficial visitors. Like, we're still dealing with the aftermath of that, but I think these kids in the class of 26 know that's a thing of the past. I don't have to worry about this anymore. It's off Josh Heupel's back, and guess what? Now he can go to work. Guess who else can go to work? Y'all want to talk about NIL? Man, oh man. Scoops texted me this morning with the news about Brian Hartline, and I'm laying there getting tattooed, and I'm like starting to move my shoulders a little bit. And she's like, "Can you sit still? I got to tattoo your arm here, son." And then a couple of hours later, I get a text. We're not experts or insiders, but I may have a little birdie or two on the phone, and they're texting me screen captures, and smoke starts to become fire. And then the next thing we know, Legend Bay flips. We're not done yet. J.J. Finch, a Rivals 4-star defensive lineman, 6'3", 278, scheduled to come off the board here in a few minutes. We're going to take you up to that decision. Then we're going to dive right back into this class of 26. But let me catch up with you guys in the chat. We got almost 1,000 people watching. Let's grow that. Let's bust right through 1,000 people. Smash the thumbs up. That takes you 2 seconds, and it helps the channel. Share the link. Go to Twitter and say, this is the place to talk early signing day news. Share this thing out on Twitter. If you feel obliged, you can drop a door fee. You can become a member of the channel. We appreciate the support, just like Todd did. Todd dropped a $5 super chat. Says not going to be able to join tonight, family medical emergency. I'll be keeping the granddaughter GBO. Well, prayers for you, Todd, and the family. Hope everything is okay. Luke for 2 says, Dorothy, that's just a tip in the tip jar. That's Luke saying, hey, boys, I appreciate the show. Here's a $2 door fee. We appreciate that support. A Stiddy for 10 says, Dorothy, future looking brighter in orange. Shout out A City. We appreciate you. You can also be like Big Orange Cap and hit the join button right down there beside subscribe. It's $1. Helps keep the lights on, help keeps the show going, moving forward, especially as we get into the offseason talking about recruiting. So shout out Big Orange Cap. JJ Lammons also became a member of the channel, but then Luke gifted a Talkin VAWLS membership, and we have a rule around here. If we get 35 new members or gifted members, we'll give away some free Talkin VAWLS merchandise. So you guys are 32 away. Hit that join button. We would appreciate it. Peyton Bowles for 2. Hyder hasn't signed yet. Let the Vols flip him. We'll talk about that. JJ Lammon for 2. I love the Vols like Coach J loves big booties.
Starting off hot, boys. I like it.
No lies detected. No lies detected. Matthew Watson's been a member for 16 months. We appreciate that. Jordan GBO drops $1 super sticker. We thank you for that as well. Jody Farrell for 5. Exciting stuff. Yes, it is, man. It has been a fun. I'm full of energy, and it could be because I'm drinking energy drinks at 6 o'clock at night like a real idiot. But, man, it's been an exciting day. Randy Wilson gifted a Talkin VAWLS membership. We appreciate you, my man. We're now 31 members away from giving away some free merch. I'll put that link there in the description. James Lofton. What's up, Mr. Lofton? It is good to see you in the chat. Says, what a day to be a Vol. Impressive. GBO. Shout out, James. It is good to see you in the chat. Big Orange Swelly drops the Orange Boy. We'll play the clip.
Rocky Top!
Shout out Big Orange Swelly for 20. I love this channel. You the man. Boogie will shout out Big Orange Swelly. You are the man as well. We're getting right up against it. I'm going to catch back up with you guys in the super chats and the memberships. I appreciate you guys, but we're right around the corner from a decision. Scoops is getting anxious because he's got graphics to drop and things to do on Twitter. But JJ Finch right up against it, around the corner from a decision. Scoops, lay it on us. How are we feeling about JJ Finch at the final hour here?
Well, I almost just pulled a Boogie Bentley and almost pressed post when I wasn't supposed to.
Easy.
But,
Whoa.
Just trying to get things ready. Obviously this is one you don't know where it's going to go. Alabama been making some last final effort pitches there, and been an Alabama commit for a long time. But Rodney Garner in Tennessee, they've been able to kind of itch away, get them on for 865 live. Been able to do some things the right way. Build relationships like we've always said on the show. When it comes to NIL, that's a big thing in this area, but relationships matter. So we're going to see, obviously, you've seen the On3 guys kind of put out there saying that he's going to make a final decision today. Really, anytime expected, between Alabama and Tennessee. We've seen Rodney Garner and Coach Chop be able to go out there and get Gooden and get Jordan Carter. And if, they're able to pull off this one with JJ Finch, man, for a staff that, there was a lot of question marks about where they'd be. Will they be here? Are they going to the Plains with Golish? They made a statement on the trail, this weekend. And JJ Finch is a dog, man, an absolute unit. I feel like he's severely underrated. If Tennessee's able to pull this one off, you're looking at a guy that can come in and make an immediate impact. We'll see what happens, man. This is one that if Tennessee's able to pull it off, it just adds to a monumental day for the Vols.
Val, how do you feel about Coach G? I know we've talked a lot about it. We've speculated a lot about it, the issues with his family, wanting to get closer to home, but Auburn is sticking with Durkin as their defensive coordinator. Also, their defensive line coach is staying at Auburn. That makes you think either Coach G is staying at Tennessee, he's retiring, or he could go elsewhere. But how do you think that plays into this? How do you feel about Coach G and then how that impacts a guy like JJ Finch?
Well, I was the first to say or admit that I was worried. I'm a huge Coach G fan. I think he's just absolutely pivotal to have on this staff. That's proven over the last couple seasons. But once I saw that Durkin was staying, I was like, okay, we'll see what happens. But who wouldn't want Coach G on their staff? That doesn't really tell me anything. Then you see they're going to keep their D-line coach. You're like, okay. So I feel pretty solid. Then you're never going to try to let anything out before signing day. So if there was some movement there, you probably would have kept it under wraps. But once you see all these defensive linemen, this elite talent across the D-line start to roll in, you're like, okay, they probably know what's going down. I don't think they would mislead anybody. So I felt more and more confident and just looking forward to see what he can do with some of these young guys. Like I think that's what gets him up in the morning, man. Seeing this young talent, knowing he can mold them, what he can turn them into young men. And the more I see these guys roll in, especially like we're down to the wire here and we're leaning towards, we're starting to feel pretty confident about Finch and getting a little steal from Bama. So I'm feeling good, man. I'm excited. I couldn't be more excited about this class. And you just tell me that I might get to keep Coach G on top of it. Man, this is Christmas. What more can we ask for today?
I always love anytime somebody likes to go 3-star you. I like to point out Ty Redmond, like 3-star corner starting as a true freshman in the SEC. I think that guy, he went through some trials, right? He took some lumps, but he also grew, got better for it. And I think he's going to be a pretty dang good corner for us moving forward. JJ Finch, depending on where you look, Rivals/On3 has him as a 4-star. Industry rankings have him as a 3-star, 6'3", 278. I always say, look at the offer list, right? If I remove stars, if you couldn't look at stars and all you had to do was look at tape and look at the player, look at the size, look at the length, look at the offer list. Do you think Alabama, like we talk about, we're looking to take a commit from Alabama? I think that means more to people than if you start talking about 3 stars. But he committed to Alabama back on June the 22nd over Michigan, Miami, Purdue, Tennessee. Tennessee never stopped swinging. Last update from Steve Wiltfong says JJ Finch had been struggling to make a final decision between Alabama or rolling with the Vols. In the end, it's looking like Tennessee is going to win out, with a source that said the Alabama Crimson Tide is moving on. Tim Watts at Bama Online had it first. It goes on to say Finch was a top-of-the-board guy for Josh Heupel and his staff as they build on the Rivals at the time. Number 10 class now sitting at number 5. What do you think about that, Scoops? How important is player evaluation to you? It's something that me and Coach have talked a lot about. Me and Fowl have talked a lot about. I don't think you really spoke on it. How important do you see evaluation? 3-star, 2-star, 5-star, don't matter. What matters is his coaching staff.
I mean, you've seen the staff go out there, and what they're first going to do, man, is they're going to evaluate. They're not going to star gaze. With a guy like JJ Finch, man, I mean, he's already committed to the Navy All-American Bowl game. He's had the accolades. He's getting recognized, invited to these huge games. You look at the offer list and what they've done. I mean, he plays at a powerhouse up there at Warren, man. So he's playing good competition in Indianapolis. Tennessee's been able to go in that area multiple times. And like you said, man, I mean, Jaden Perlotti was a low 3-star before he went to USC and flipped back to Tennessee, and you saw what he did this year. You've seen it happen time and time again where Tennessee, and they're like, oh, 3-star you, and then later in the process, they get that bump. Not just what the staff is doing, but the assistants behind the scenes, the scouting team, the process of getting these guys on campus, getting them to the visit, building these relationships. I mean, they've gone around it, done their way, done their process, and in the end, you're seeing it work. You're seeing it have results. And when it comes to fits with this defense and the scheme, I feel like they've been hitting a nail in the park, man. Coach Chop, Coach Garner, William Minge, being able to get across the finish line there today. I mean, you just seen them all kind of work together, gel together. And I know we have a lot of question marks about the on the field stuff sometimes, but the way they've been able to communicate and build and represent this program to get kids to commit, that's just, the beauty of it, man. I feel like if you're able to go and obviously you see the numbers, you look at the top 5 class, if you're able to do that and probably do that for the first time since the Butch Jones era, if I'm not wrong, I mean, Josh Heupel, man, for a guy that had a lot of pressure on him to see these resources he's getting and the way he's been able to do that after the Vanderbilt game, I think it just goes to show how serious this program is about taking it to the next level, getting talent on here and not having that label of being complacent or being moderate. So the way they've been able to attack it, man, their process is working out.
Let me catch back up with the chat real quick as we are leading into the decision from JJ Finch. I'll let Scoops go start scrolling around the internet. Randy Wilson gifted a Talkin VAWLS membership. Shout out, Randy. We appreciate you. Jody Farrell's been a member for 59 months. John Watts gifted 5 Talkin VAWLS memberships. That's the equivalent of a $25 super chat. So shout out, John. We appreciate you. Nuke Twan became a member of the channel. We appreciate that support. Billy Todd for 2 says Dorfy GBO. Shout out, Billy. We appreciate that support. Joey Carroll for 5 says Dorfy top 5 class. It's been a great day. Let's keep the coaches. Give everyone another year. Gregory C for 10. Great coverage today, Boogie. Awesome job, guys. GBO. Well, I appreciate that, Greggy. Y'all were patient with me today. I was out of the house for like 6 hours, but I was trying to get as much out as possible, so I appreciate the kind words. Isaac's been a member for 28 months. Bert Smith for 5 says Dorfy for the best ball content anywhere. despite being a sunshine pumper.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
All Vol.
Thanks,
all day.
thanks, pal. Thanks for getting me off the ledge there. Vol Guy became a member of the channel. Shout out, Vol Guy. We appreciate you. Cade Vogler for 5 says this team has a chance to be special next year. And this class of 26 could be the one. It really could be the one. VFL Stephen Parr has been a member for 14 months. Great day, loving it. Get them all. GBO Charles Patty has been a member for 17 months. We appreciate that. Robert Beatty for 10. This is awesome. I'm 48 and been evolved for life. I believe these recruits just sent a message. We are coming. GBO Corio for $2 to Boogie's tattoo fee. Talent fee. I appreciate that, Corio. Appreciate you. Cody Copeland gifted 20 Talkin VAWLS memberships. That is a 50. That's the equivalent of a $50 super chat. Let's play the clip for Cody Copeland.
All I know is go Vols, because that's all I know. Go Vols!
Shout out Cody, man. I appreciate it. And Todd gifted one as well. That puts us at 2 memberships away. 2 more memberships will give away some free merchandise. Randall's been a member for 23 months. Jeff also says Vol World Order. Shout out, Jeff. And then Cody dropped the 20 spot. He wants to hear the other clip.
Rocky Top!
Shout out Cody again. Man of my word, Joseph Sack. If we win bowl game, that'll hit 9. Win bet 2. GBO, proud of how well our young team did this year. And adding this recruiting class is awesome. Future looks great. Guys, I've got some bad news for you. I gotta take back 20 of those memberships. You guys are 22 memberships away. Cody is a man of his word. Cody made me a bet, said he was going to give 20 memberships if certain things happened. He is paying his debt. We still need more steam. 22 memberships. Get in where you fit in. Shout out Cody for being a man of your word. I appreciate it. Sora's been a member for 32 months. Let's keep bringing them in the boat. Shout out Sora. Scoops, any news yet? We still waiting on JJ Finch. I'm watching his Instagram. Nothing there yet.
No news on the Instagram. No news on the social media front from the insiders and the sources. We've seen this though. Sometimes it's just as little as setting things up. A school principal being late, maybe a too long of a speech, and I'm sure we're going to get some breaking news at the moment. But nothing done yet on my end. But man, like I keep saying, you pull this off. There's a lot to be happy about. There's a lot to point to and say that's the key of the class. I think if you're able to get JJ Finch the way that Rodney Garner and Chop were able to close through the adversity, man, that's just absolutely wild. We're talking about 3 pickups in one day.
Let's talk about this while we got a little break here, Foul, because we're up against it. We'll see when JJ Finch pulls the trigger and makes that decision. In the meantime, in this class of 26 right now, pen to paper committed, it doesn't matter. 0 running backs committed in this class. It feels like Tennessee kind of pushed all their chips in on Savion Hyder. He ends up committing to Michigan. You kind of backpedal and go look at Amari Latimer. Sounds like he's sticking with Wisconsin. That one's done. But now we see this. Savion Hyder has yet to sign with Michigan. Hyder chose the Wolverines over the Vols back in August. A lot of people are in panic mode if they are wearing blue and gold. What are your thoughts on this? And this, hey, by the way, everybody in the chat, this is just wild happening right now. It's not like Foul has some inside scoop and breaking news. I'm asking for his opinion, the same as you guys in the chat, the same as Scoop, same as me. I've not seen anything. But I do think it's interesting that he's not signed.
Yeah, you said it. We're shooting from the hip here, so I'm taking this information in just like you guys as quick as I can. But you can't help but be excited. I mean, if it was down to you and Michigan, or us in Michigan, however you want to state it, you got to be a little excited. You got to think, well, I thought that door was closed. Now I'm starting to see a little gap there. Can we squeeze in there? I'm sure there's some other teams in the hunt. I'm sure there's got to be something, because you got to look and see like what's going down today. What happened today? What made this card fall the way it's fallen? What's holding him up? And because everybody, first thing, it's like, well, this player just wanted to get paid. This player wanted to get paid. Whoever he went to the highest bidder, things like that. I think you're starting to see today that relationships still matter. And this isn't just Hyder. I don't know exactly how it's going to go down, but you look at Tennessee, we haven't signed a running back. We've looked, we put all our cards on Hyder, all our chips on Hyder, and then it didn't fall through. Well, then you start looking at next year's class, or what can we grab from this class. And like you said, the running back is going to, where'd you say, Wisconsin now?
Yeah.
But you have to think that I mean, can we lean on this? You start looking at some guys like Legend came back. Well, now you're thinking like, okay, is Moa out the door? Is Moa not out the door? We don't know yet, but is there some funds there? Do you overpay? That's where I'm getting to. Like, do you start to say, okay, we were all in before. There was a reason we're all in before. We just talked about evaluations and this coaching staff and support staff. If they were all in before, and all of a sudden you might have an extra little allotment here and there, what keeps you from going all in? What's it going to take to get him in orange? And if I'm on this staff, that's what I got to be thinking. You could be the running back of this class, and this top 5 class could push it even higher. And I mean, I'm all in. If I'm Tennessee, we're at the finish line. All the pieces I think that's going to be in place are in place. I can look exactly what I have, what I don't have. I'm all in right here. I don't know if it's a realistic opportunity for us still. I mean, Scoops, I'm going to slide over to Scoops here in just a second, and he can either build me up or crush my dreams in about 2 seconds. But I just want to, if I'm Tennessee and I got no running backs and this was my pick, and now all of a sudden I'm just hearing just a little bit of smoke about he's a little hesitant, there's something holding him up, I'm all in. I'm busting that door down. What's it going to take?
Yeah, man. I mean, obviously, I think a lot of Michigan fans, this is when they've been sweating. You've seen the mentions on X being like, hey, where's the Savion Hyder news? There's been a lot of pause and, linking him back to his home state, whether it's, Virginia Tech, just because, James Franklin, what he's been doing out there, I mean, since leaving Penn State is absolutely phenomenal. So there's some pause to see if they can maybe make a big swing there. But like you said, man, you never say never. And I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, but anytime in this process going to National Signing Day, a lot of the time, leading up to that day, you'll reach out to some agents or some families and put a little feeler saying, hey, is this, for sure set? Is this what, what's going to happen? We would love you here. And I mean, you make a little last pitch, but if there's a sign that, hey, maybe he's pushing it back, who knows what kind of backdoor communication there might be there if he's having some kind of pause, maybe throw something out there. Like you said, if you have a little bit of extra money or a better offer, you maybe throw it out there. But yeah, it sounds like, Michigan, sounds like Virginia Tech, but if this thing is really, being pushed to tomorrow, you got Amari Latimer going to West Virginia. You got Legend Bay, who's going to be a hybrid between a running back and a wide receiver. If you want to make a big bang, and if you're, all in on this funds thing of, having more funds, being more aggressive, and bringing in talent to Tennessee, I don't know a better way to do it, man. We'll see what happens. I think it's a Michigan Virginia Tech thing, but it's National Signing Day, guys. We've seen some crazy things happen. We've seen a Jordan Seaton. We've seen a Travis Hunter Jr. And all eyes on what happens. He's the number 1 running back for a reason, but nothing on my end to point to Tennessee. But if you have time, man, you might as well have a conversation if you can.
I'm looking all over. I'm looking at On3. I'm scrolling VolQuest. I'm seeing no news about Savion Hyder. Look, this is how it works, man. Like I said, this is raw, real. When we say for the fans, by the fans, that's what it is. This is what I would do if I was sitting here without the camera on. I would start going down On3. I would start doing Google searches. I would start looking to experts that I trust, experts that I lean on. I start looking at my cell phone because I'm getting text messages from certain people with connections thinking that maybe they got a little scoop for me, but instead they're sending me screen captures of BamaOnline.com, and it says, what's up with the Vols recruiting? They had an incredible day and passed us in the recruiting rankings up to number 5. Do they have a film night in Knoxville? Bammers are scared. Bammers are nervous. That's the type of day we've had today for early signing day. As we continue to wait on J.J. Finch, we're going to just move on with the show, and we'll come back. If he does pull the trigger, again, it's Tennessee. It is Alabama, but the news of the day, the one that everybody was talking about is this one right here. Look at that beautiful graphic. Scoops, you know who made that?
Yeah. That's mine from like last month or a couple months ago.
Yeah, I didn't have anything else, so I just went with that. Do you yell at me when I retweet like Hayes or somebody? Are you like, Boogie, what are you doing? Like, come on, bro, what are you doing?
He's not like you, Boog. He doesn't get all the
I'm a fan of all the people. If everyone eats, I'm happy. But
see how fake that answer was, Fowl? He definitely gets his feelings hurt. You're full of crap. You're full of crap.
I used the graphic for the original announcement because, like you said, man, I mean, last night or the night before, he was getting a text being like, hey, there's been some communication there with Tennessee and Legend Bay. There's been some conversation, but it sounds like he's going to stick with Ohio State. There was no real shot. And then, leading up to signing day today, I mean, you saw the announcement, Legend Bay decked out in Ohio State gear, Ohio State, everything, Ohio State cupcakes. And the news breaks that Brian Hartline's taking the head coaching job to USF. And I know that Ohio State saw him primarily as a wide receiver kind of guy, just being that kind of athlete. When you're being, offered to be a wide receiver to be Ohio State University, it's kind of hard to say no, especially under Coach Hartline, but kind of gave that family some pause. And then, delayed a few hours, no signing on the dotted line, and it comes out pretty quickly. Smoke turns to fire that Legend Bay is flipping back to Tennessee. I mean, this is one that before all this, before everything that happened today, Tennessee was going back and forth the last month since he flipped to Ohio State, trying to get things trending back the right way. Tennessee making some moves there where they thought they were going to get him across the line. You obviously saw the official account have the graphic ready about him being signed just in case, but you didn't really think it's going to happen, man. And now seeing so far Legend making that flip, that's a huge pickup when it comes to just having a pure athlete on your roster.
Athlete is the word, right? Athlete, track speed, 10 to 100 meter. I saw where VolQuest, when he flipped, they put out his high school coach, what he thought about Legend Bay. Now you guys can see the highlights on the screen. He plays quarterback for his high school, but just watch what he does with the ball in his hands. This is what his high school coach said. He said that Legend is the best player in the state of Texas with the ball in his hands. That's what I believe. I think he's really good at getting the football down the field, and I say that knowing that is a real general statement, but I think he's the best football player with the ball in his hands anywhere on the field. I think for him, it starts with the God-given uncanny athletic ability. I mean, he's a guy that is 180, 190 pounds that can run 10-2 in the 100-meter dash, squats over 550, is a gifted athlete and a fierce competitor. He can play quarterback. He can play running back. He can play wide receiver. Tennessee originally recruiting him to play in the slot position. Fowl, we're talking about it. And again, this is us spitballing here. Tennessee recruits him to play in the slot. We don't have a running back signed in the class. Legend Bay's pretty dang special with the football in his hands. Do you look at a running back?
Well, absolutely. I mean, you nailed it. Like, athlete's just the word here, because anywhere you put him on the field, it's just absolute elite speed, elite ball skills. Clearly, as you run the tape here. But how many times do you see us rotate, especially this year, rotate multiple backs? So everybody could have a different skill set. It's not saying we got to put in between the tackles every play or anything like that every down back. How many times do we say we need somebody out of the backfield that could just catch the ball here? So many times we have a drop on these little swing routes and things like that. So, and the spacing in this offense, if you put him with these chopper running lanes, I know it's the next level and everybody's going to be faster. But you watch him here, I mean, it's not even close. He's just walking away from people. So him with the ball in his hands in space in this kind of offense, I mean, I can't do anything but get excited and just drool over tape. I know I'm sure Josh Heupel's doing the exact same thing. Because, I mean, what do you want out of a playmaker? I'm not going to say a wide receiver. I'm not going to say running back. I'm not just a playmaker. What do you say when you watch something like that and think you could have that in your offense? Man, that was like Christmas this morning, seeing Legend Bay back in the fold. I talked a few nights ago on live how just disappointed I was to lose that particular tool set in this class and to find out he's back in. And it shows you, man, relationships are a thing. Because as soon as Hartline's out the door, all of a sudden it's not Ohio State. It was Hartline, right? So as soon as he's out the door, Tennessee gets the benefit from that. And I can't be nothing but excited, man.
Let's go take a look at a little bit of drama coming out of this commitment because of the way that it did play out down the stretch, the way it did play out with Brian Hartline getting the head coaching job at South Florida. This is Legend Bay at his signing today. This is him getting ready to put pen to paper. I don't know if you can see the table back there. It has an Ohio State banner across the front of it. It has an Ohio State banner pennant sitting on top of the table. He was wearing Ohio State gear. He's getting ready to put pen to paper, and then all this drama unfolds. And then there was even some stuff like, again, he's decked out in Ohio State stuff. Some people said that he knew Hartline was leaving, but he said, I'm still going to Ohio State. I'm still putting pen to paper. There were rumors that he was going to delay his signing. And then all of a sudden, the next thing you know, boom, he flips. He's signing with Tennessee. The pen has hit the paper. He is in the boat. And then there's a lot of talk, a lot of speculation. Again, this is internet rumor scoops. Any thoughts to the chatter about him being 17 and he can't sign the NIL deal? Austin Price responded to it and said that parents don't have to sign papers, that he can just show up at Ohio State. That's not a thing. That's a bunch of nonsense. Basically said people like to make excuses or like to create maybe the worst case scenario here.
I mean, you know, it's pretty serious when there's cupcakes involved, man. Those things look pretty dang good. I ain't gonna lie, but no, yeah, kind of like this commitment there to Ohio State and ended up there, man. It's kind of like baked goods. It's you know, on fire. I'm not falling for the rumors, man, and all the speculation. I mean, like I said just a few minutes ago, Kelsey Pope has been locked in on this one. It's not just a heat of the moment kind of thing. Hartline being fired, or not fired, but going to USF. But I mean, just the building a relationship, staying in contact. This is one that I feel like was going to go down to the wire before we even knew, Hartline was getting a head coaching job. There was like, hey, Tennessee's making another offer at Bay. They're throwing one last ditch effort. And now when you talk about relationships, you talk about coaching changes, you talk about things that matter. I feel like it just kind of went Tennessee's way. And I'm sure that, maybe he had, some family talks in this kind of process. Anytime you're making a big commitment like this to sign, to go to a university, you're going to have those talks with your family. But in no way do I think that Legend Bay was forced to do one thing or the other. I don't think his mom would force his commitment from Ohio State to Tennessee. Obviously, why would he go to Ohio and flip to Ohio State in the first place? But I think when it comes down to it, man, the relationships matter. Coach Pope being aggressive and Hype being aggressive mattered. A lot of people forget that Coach Pope and Halsey and Hype went in-house the day before he did flip to Ohio State and made that effort and stayed engaged. And I know, you think it's gone, you think the chances are slim, but this just shows you, man, you got to keep pushing and attacking. And it worked out for the Vols, man, getting Legend Bay in this class, a top 10 athlete in the country that, had prestigious offers, was able to, go viral on the social medias for his ability to make plays in a lower at North Forney in Texas, man, the way he's been able to just be a true athlete. So no, I'm not buying the thing that, hey, this is because he's 17 and not 18 yet, and he's just going to enter the portal and go to Ohio State anyway. I think this was like a family decision that, hey, the best thing for me is going to Tennessee, going where I'm comfortable, and taking a chance. And we see it all the time, man. These kids have a chance to go to the portal, go elsewhere. If they're not happy, they can create their own path. But I think Tennessee did all the right things to get him in the boat and make him, see the vision that they have for him.
We got about 1,600 people watching live right now. Do us a favor, smash the thumbs up, share out the link. We're up against it, waiting on the live decision from J.J. Finch. He's going to make that final choice between Tennessee and Alabama, and then he's going to put pen to paper. We still have not seen anything yet. I just checked VolQuest, Twitter, Instagram. We are still waiting on that decision. Let me catch up with you guys in the chat. Solely for 5 says, I wonder if they were able to bring Bay back with the idea of possibly him playing running back. Terry Cunningham became a member of the channel. Shout out, Terry. We appreciate you. Also, Holden became a member of the channel. If you're not a member, you don't have a Power T beside your name, you like what we do around here, you want to support us, you can hit the join button. It's $1. You get custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, access to fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun perks and benefits, but more importantly, you're just supporting this channel, man. For the fans, by the fans, also fan-funded. We don't survive without you. Holden McGee also gifted a Talkin VAWLS membership on top of that. We're just 18 away. We get 18 more members. We'll give away some free Talkin VAWLS memberships or some Talkin VAWLS merchandise. Why not? JJ Lambens for 2. I love the Vols like I love shit posting on the Facebook group. Everybody hates JJ. Everybody hates this guy. But he still hangs out with us, and he's a Tennessee fan. So here we go. Terrence for 5 says, I am Legend. Him or Faison will be our first Heisman winner. Bay is going to be our Reggie Bush. He is a game changer. Peyton Bowles for 5 says, Legend and Faison, unstoppable duo in the backfield. Chris Benoit for 2 says, reports Hyder has signed with Michigan. No clue what happened there, man. I don't know what the drama was, what the delay was. But if he's put pen to paper, then we move on. We figured out the running back position. If it's Legend Bay, it's Legend Bay. If it's not, guess what? High school recruiting is important. It is. It is a huge part of building a roster at the college football level. But I think if you miss a guy here or there, it's not the end of the world. You can go to the transfer portal and you can kind of piecemeal this thing back together. Fowl, I cut you off. Any last thing you wanted to add there on Legend Bay?
I was just going to go back to the player evaluation side of this staff, and we need to take our hats off to the support staff too. The guys out on the ground, out on the road, away from home, getting these guys houses and doing these interviews, because how much of a factor do you think it is? And the reason I bring that up, how much of a factor do you think it is that Tennessee often gets into these guys early? You hear it over and over and over in their interviews with VolQuest and different places. Tennessee was there first. Tennessee got there early, and it's all because they believe in their player evaluations. They see what they like, they go after it, they're aggressive, and you never close the door on anybody, because how many times have we had somebody flip, or you hear they're going somewhere else or this place and that place, and then they turn around, you're right back here at Tennessee. So I just wanted to tip the cap a little bit to the player evaluation and how early and often Tennessee is getting in and ahead of these people. And I really do think that evaluation is making the edge, because you look at some of the teams because everybody says, oh, it's money. Everybody's going to answer to money, right? But I mean, the truth of it is everybody has money right now. So it's got to go back to relationships and getting in there first and often earlier than everybody else. Because you look at the teams we're ahead of right now. You look at Georgia behind us, and Ohio State behind us, and Texas behind us, and Texas A&M behind us. Like all these places that have all this money, or all these blue bloods that are supposed to out recruit us. Is this the class that can finally say, get rid of the whole Josh Heupel can't recruit? Like finally, you're seeing the relationships pay off.
And again, it goes back to, like, it's not just the NCAA investigation, but that was part of it, man. It was part of it, but you know what else is part of it? And I know 8-4 is not where we want to be. Nobody is happy right now, missing the college football playoff, getting the brakes beat off of you by Vanderbilt. Nobody's happy with that. But Josh Heupel has been putting together consistent winning seasons since he arrived in Knoxville. And it goes back to the conversation with Brian Staley and putting it out there on Twitter and saying he is trying to change the overall perception of this program. And guess how you can change that is when you have 5-star Faison Brandon coming to town, when you have guys like Legend Bay, when you have guys like Tristan Keys. Like, we're not even talking about Tristan Keys on signing day. Like, that was such a huge flip to get him. And there was a little bit of steam, a little bit of smoke, a little bit of worry about LSU. And then it got shut down immediately, and Tristan Keys puts pen to paper. That is huge, and Heupel is changing the perception, the overall perception, the national perception of the Tennessee football program. We're still waiting on J.J. Finch, but speaking of money, we might as well go ahead and talk about this one, and that is Celeste Moa, another elite athlete, 4-star athlete, ranked 54th overall according to the On3 Rivals industry rankings. Top-ranked player out of the state of Utah, number 2 ranked athlete in the country, committed to the Vols back on July the 31st. There was a lot of buzz around Michigan this past week. Early last week, it gets put out that he's going to be taking a trip to Michigan. Obviously, that creates panic. That creates worry. Immediately after the trip, that gets shut down. Steve Wiltfong, Austin Price, Matt Ray, they all shut down that momentum for Michigan. Wiltfong even posted on VolQuest and said the buzz coming out is that he's sticking with Tennessee. But let me tell you something, man. I've gotten pretty good at speaking Austinese, and nobody was talking about Celeste Moa flipping to Utah, but Austin yesterday starts talking about Utah, and he starts talking about Celeste Moa's dad who plays at Utah. And if you remember when he committed to the Vols, he committed to Tennessee over Utah. There was so much talk. He delayed his commitment at one point. There was so much talk about Utah, and Austin starts conveniently talking about Utah right before signing day, started getting a little nervous, and then he pushed back signing day. Scoops, how are we feeling about Celeste Moa? It sounds like, if the birdies are right and what I'm reading, speculating, they threw a lot of money Celeste Moa's way.
Yeah, I've heard, anywhere from the 750,000 to a $1 million range. And I mean, obviously that's a crazy amount just to get a guy signed as a high school guy, especially in the state of Utah. But you look at him being a Utah legacy kind of guy, you look at those things that play a factor. And I mean, yeah, man, the last 24 hours it's kind of been iffy seeing Austin, throw the tea leaves out there just to kind of put the cup on and, get ready for the worst case scenario. Tennessee was obviously swinging, having some conversations there, but I don't know, man. I kind of agree with AP. I think it's kind of trending towards the homebound thing, being 50 miles from home, having a legacy there. And this sometimes in these last, pitch efforts, they throw some money that doesn't really make sense. And I think Tennessee, they've affirmed that they, how they feel about him, with the position he can play here, with their vision for him. And he's still definitely a guy that we want here at Tennessee. But right now, when it comes to the NIL thing, wanting more money, wanting us to kind of match that, I think we have more needs or more vision of how that money could be spent. And we'll see what happens, man. You never say never. Maybe he has a change of heart where he wants to take the chance of playing in the SEC. But I think right now, with the money they're offering him, that's just a crazy amount of money where you're seeing that they're offering an athlete like Celeste Moa the amount of money that some SEC teams will throw at a quarterback to get him signed. So we'll see what happens. Definitely would be one that, Tennessee would want to lose. But I want to remind people not to kind of, play the, the positive side of things. But when Celeste Moa's name came around for Tennessee and, going after him, it was kind of around the same time that Tennessee was going after Tristan Keys and getting that one in the boat, and it kind of being an entrance guy of, hey, and this is the name to know in case, Tristan goes to LSU or he sticks at LSU. And when Tennessee was able to kind of double dip and get them both, we were really excited. But at the same time, you also understand a guy that wants to stay home, want to be that legacy guy. And if they're going to invest that much money around Moa, then it's kind of hard to say no. But I'm sure Tennessee really does want him. They would love that commitment, but they're not ready to go that far and overspend on that kind of money when there's other options, whether it's in the portal or making a last-ditch effort somewhere else.
Let me hit this super chat real quick, and Fowl, you kind of feed off of this because it applies here. Papa T and SC, shout out Papa T. Always good to see you in the chat. That's an Orange Boy. We'll play the clip for Papa T.
Rocky Top!
He says, Boogie, just a thought. Could Moa be hesitant because Legend Bay flips back to us and it cut into his NIL or potential playing time at wide receiver? We have a deep position group. Now, Fowl, we can spin this one of two ways, right? We can spin it to, we felt like Moa was going elsewhere. We pump his money into Legend Bay, but I can also spin it from a roster standpoint, from a talent standpoint. When Legend Bay flipped to Ohio State, I was going, man, look who we got, right? We got King, we got Keys, we got Moa. We're going to be fine at wide receiver. Mm-hmm. Then when you start hearing this about Moa, it was that much more important that Legend Bay flip back if he is going to play wide receiver. And now it's kind of we're just waffling here between Legend Bay or Celeste Moa. But what are your thoughts on Papa T's super chat there? And then you can just kind of take it.
Well, that was the perfect cutaway because that's exactly my point that I was going to, that almost word for word. Does it come down to just the fact that we're so deep and everybody's almost everybody's young in that room? I mean, that's going to be an absolutely loaded wide receiver room, at least on the offensive side of the ball. My biggest thing for Moa was the versatility. I was hoping to see where he could fit in. Maybe, I mean, you take a spot like a star position or a safety position. Could he play multiple places? But then I thought, well, does the Bay thing have any weight here? Does that just make that much deeper? And you want to think somebody of his skill level, of his talent level, wants the competition, wants to prove themselves in the conference, in the toughest conference in the country, on the biggest of stages. But then you start throwing in, if they're going to overpay, if it's just down the road, do you start to get a little cold feet being that far away from home? I mean, and there's nothing wrong with any of those things. I mean, that's just something that could go into a kid's head heading off to college, right? But I think from our standpoint, you wanted to think he wants to be on the biggest stage, wants to be developed by one of the best in the country, and just see where the chips fall. But I'm kind of leaning with Papa T here. I'm starting to think, does the just the depth overall, are you afraid to get buried? Are you afraid not getting you're not the guy, you're one of the guys, and how much does that matter to somebody like Celeste Moa?
I see a lot of people in the chat too saying that they want Moa at safety. So do I. Guess what? So do I. I also want Joel Wyatt at safety. Tennessee likes him at edge. Yeah. They promised him he could play DB. We don't know what these conversations are behind the scenes. Where do these kids want to play? And it's easy for us as fans to go, well, we suck at safety right now. No disrespect. We need elite safeties, right? And you see what Celeste Moa could bring to the safety position. But when he takes that trip to Michigan, and coming out of that trip, he talks about his relationship with who? Kelsey Pope. He talks about his plan to do what? Play wide receiver and how they're going to use him in this offense. So that tells me that Moa doesn't want to play safety. Moa wants to play wide receiver, and then that brings into what Fowl just said with the number of bodies in that room right now. And it's not just – you got 4, if you count Moa, really dang good wide receivers in this class of 26. Oh, by the way, let's look at Braylon Staley, redshirt freshman, Mike, a sophomore. Rad Jackson, Travis Smith, like
Mhm.
true freshmen. Like this, we went from a wide receiver room of Boogie. We only got 7 bodies. What in the world are we going to do? I have no idea, boys. I guess we'll use a walk on to. We got wide receivers coming out of our ears. We got tons of talent at the wide receiver position.
And all young. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the chips are going to have to fall somewhere. I mean, you're going to
And
lose
that's
some
fine.
spots.
That's fine.
Right. I mean, the cream's going to rise to the top. You're going to lose some guys along the way. And that's not a diss or a shot at anybody, because I don't know who's that's going to be. Yeah. I mean, of course you think we all know the names at the top of the list, but I don't know. I mean, they're still got to come in. They got to get developed. You got to see who fits in the system. You got to see who can develop the fastest and who can get on the field the quickest. So, but you're probably going to lose some of those guys along the way. But that's a good problem to have. And if he just doesn't want to take that chance and see if he's better than those guys, or doesn't believe he's better than those guys, and that position's that pivotal to him, then that's what it is, man. There's no hard feelings there.
We got about 1,500 people watching live. We appreciate you guys tuning in for this early signing day chaos. We're still waiting for J.J. Finch. Is it Tennessee or is it Alabama? I'm glad we didn't say we're just going to wait. I'm glad we went ahead and started the show and started talking a little recruiting. Let me catch up with you guys in the chat. Reezy for 5 says, late door fee, love you guys. Thanks for what you do. Boogie, what a day it's been so far. Well, shout out Reezy. I appreciate you in the super chat. My man Bruce McClure becomes a member of the channel. Thank you, Bruce. We appreciate you. Martrain's been a member for 36 months and says, if Joey isn't here, is Bay QB3? I don't think so. I think Tennessee wants him to play that wide receiver position, maybe get creative at running back. That might just be wishful thinking on my part. David Rich has been a member for 22 months. Thank you, David. We appreciate you. Says, go Vols. Def Estimate becomes a member of the channel. We appreciate that. How many are we away?
Sheesh,
Where are we at?
They're racking up.
We need 17 more memberships. We'll give away some free Talkin VAWLS merch. You guys can gift them, or you can just join the channel. I say it all the time, man. We're going out of football season and into recruiting season. But guess what? We have more people watching right now for early signing day than we had watching almost any post game show. So you guys like recruiting, and dang it, I'm proud when it comes to all the people on YouTube trying to do the same thing that Talkin VAWLS is doing. Best of luck to them. I think we're pretty dang good when it comes to talking recruiting, and adding Scoops to the fold, adding Fowl to the fold this cycle has been a lot of fun. Scoops brings it. Fowl brings it. Coach Jay brings it. I'm telling you, we're going to cover recruiting. We're going to do live commitment streams. We're going to do some interviews, get some guys on here, talk about their decisions to come to Tennessee. So these memberships are how we keep this train moving forward. So shout out Def Estimate. We appreciate you. Cody Taggett for 10. Got a question. They signed today. Can they hit the portal when it opens next month if they were to change their mind or have outside people sway them? Thanks for the response, guys. GBO. I don't think so. Can they? I don't think you can as an incoming commit.
I think you can, because the kid from Oregon that went to Cal, wasn't he like eligible right after leaving? I'm not sure how that works. I think you can, because I think some people were like, oh, can Joel Wyatt, Tennessee got the win over there against LSU with Lane making a late push, but they're like, oh, can he just enter the transfer portal after the next period? I'm not sure that happens, but I don't know how this whole calendar right now and the big old mess with the NCAA of all these things mashing together, I wouldn't roll it out.
I mean, just by the letter of the law, you would imagine they could. I mean, if you sign, you're on the roster, and if you're on the roster, you can enter the portal. So, and not just that. I mean, you got we're down to the one portal, but I wouldn't imagine they couldn't do that. But that would seem odd, to say the least. You hadn't even got through a single practice, or at least not spring practice yet.
And I don't imagine that they would. Tennessee, obviously, it's no coincidence that everyone in the class besides Moa signed today. If Moa was going to be a part of this class, he would probably sign today or this week. Tennessee in the last, this year, last year, getting their commits in, getting them into the early signing day period, getting their guys. You don't really see them go too heavy after the high school or in the high school era, maybe 1 or 2 guys to add in that, second, wave of the class. But mostly after this, they're going to be focused on the portal and getting those guys in when it opens, and just, being able to fill those holes and get some experienced guys on the roster. But I mean, it kind of, you like that though. You want that. You having this class locked in, being able to, post a graphic, make a big announcement, seeing Josh Heupel go to his press conference and talk about, the additions. I mean, it's what you want. It's a sign of a healthy program where those guys aren't thinking twice and signing to you. And I know we're all on, crazy watch being like, oh, we're going to lose the class after a Vanderbilt loss. I'm going to point back to this. Probably we'll point back to this. How it fired up this staff, this administration, adding the resources to this staff and Josh Heupel. And I know the whole clickbait thing of Josh Heupel to Penn State, but I think it's going to help us out in the long run, giving us those resources to go out there and get the best guys.
But you've seen this over and over again. That I mean, even with the lower ranked class before these, and then now this class that's in top 5, they're in early. Like as soon as signing day starts, I mean, you open up your phone, they're in early. These guys are locked in. These guys are ready. It's already, I'm sure it's pen to paper before we even know about it. I mean, and it seems just like a Heupel thing. He's very structured in that sense. He wants to know what he has, who's going to be here, what he can do with it. And on top of it, for our sakes, it builds that momentum, right? Like once you see those big names drop early, there's no hesitation. There's no worry. We're not like a Tuesday night show waiting to see if we're getting to game 5 or not. We're right there, right out the gate. We know who we got and what's going to happen. And I think that might help some of those guys who are on the fence know, okay, all these guys are locked in. I want to be with these guys, especially when you're seeing all these coaching changes and things that's kind of more fluid around the country. Tennessee's being consistent. Tennessee's been solid. You know what you're going to get, whatever. And they've been they've honored their word, and you can kind of start to see that bleed off and the consistency. It's almost in like in NCAA, you see coach stability. If anybody has coach stability, it's the University of Tennessee.
Let me hit a couple more here. MG Wade for 5 says, glad to have a historic signing day to get me over the Vandy hangover. Isn't it funny how many people have changed their mind? Vols fan that's in our Patreon dynasty has finally found some positivity. He found some positive energy today after this signing class. Papa T for 2 says Cinch hype typo only plays 3. Is that a fact? Since hype typically only plays 3. Is that a fact?
Talking about. We've been known to kind of only play 3 wide receivers, even if we have guys to put in rotation, and that would make you start to wonder. I mean, do these young guys but worry about that? But
I think they played Travis Smith before he got hurt. They played Rad Jackson in meaningful, like it's not like they gave him a lot of snaps, but they were playing in meaningful games. I think was Rad Jackson, wasn't he in the Alabama game? Like now it's not 15, 20 snaps, but I think it's so you can check a box and say, yeah, I played some guys.
We got to start thinking like the talent gap from what used to be freshmen to freshmen now, that guys are coming in prepared, ready to go. And obviously the more elite, the more likely they are to play early. So I think that's just going to gradually change, and we'll see more and more as we go.
Yeah, I think that comment's probably related to Celeste Moa about, whether that kind of makes him go somewhere elsewhere. But when you're a high rated athlete like that, you're a dog that can just go up there and make freak plays and have a crazy athletic ability. You're trusting in yourself. You're against anybody. You're not scared of competition. So I don't think it's a competition thing. I definitely think there's been a lot of pause, and AP hinted at it. You have the legacy of your father. You have him being an alum. You have the chance to, kind of stay home where you're comfortable, where things are. Michigan was never the threat. I think it's always, been Utah. And it sounds like if, he sticks with Utah, it's a hometown hero kind of thing. And, maybe, he enters the portal, but I know he still had that, mindset of, hey, should I bank on myself? Should I follow the family legacy? And, sometimes we've seen, with some guys, the family pressure and, want to do best for your family, be there and just follow in line and continue the legacy. It plays off. And when you're offering the rumored amount of money like that, man, I mean, Tennessee obviously is not shy of, having some NIL battles, but sometimes it doesn't make sense.
Right, that's the thing is like you have to pick and choose where you're going to spend your money. And if Utah is, this is where relationships are important. And I preach it all the time. I know Fowl was preaching it earlier. They are important. And if it's a guy like David Sanders, guess what? Tennessee is going to make a comparable offer. When it's Celeste Moa and you've got Legend Bay signed, you've got Tristan Keys signed, you've got King signed, I'm not overpaying for Celeste Moa. Sorry.
That's that. I want to say just quickly, Tyreek King, my favorite pickup of the class. Basically a fringe 5-star wide receiver, top 10 guy, number 1 slot guy on Rivals, just in your backyard. And he really wasn't talked about the whole class, man. Obviously you see the Moa thing, you look at the guys that don't sign, but talk about the guys that are here that put pen to paper, not just Tristan Keys, not just Tyreek King. I mean, those guys are going to be some dogs. And seeing it all come together. I mean, you kind of appreciating the people that are here. The guy that was just literally in your backyard at Knoxville Catholic, man, absolute athlete, and fired up to see what he's going to be here, man. But yeah, man, I know you don't want to lose any, but with what we've gained, what we've added, what we can potentially add here soon, hopefully with on the D line and get another addition. It's hard not to like this class.
You know what I love about Tyreek King? And you know why I call him King? Do you know why I don't ever say Tyreek? Because every time I say Tyreek, I say Hill. I say it every single time. So I just started calling him King so I could call him by the right name. But what I love about him, number one, Knoxville kid, right? Like Scoop said. Number two, he committed back in October of 2024. And when he committed, the response is always, well, he's not going to stick. He's not going to stay. It doesn't matter. He's going elsewhere. And because he's been true and he's been loyal and he has been bought in and dialed into Tennessee for 2 years now, nobody's talking about him. And he's ranked. Imagine if we flipped Tyreek King today, ranked 137th nationally, like a top 150 guy, and we flip him and add him in the class of 26. Everybody's going nuts. But because he's been committed for 2 years and never once wavered, nobody's talking about it. So I like that, Scoops.
I just love the chip he has on his shoulder and then competitive nature, because how many other guys would have sat and watched us sign some of these other elite talents in the room and thought, well, maybe I need to look elsewhere or whatever. He's consistently been like, I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to prove I belong. I'm going to prove I need to be on the field. So I just love that side of that. Like, he's got that little edge, that little dog in him that I think he's going to show up and show out. If we got time, another guy I think we haven't really talked about yet, but Big Gabriel Ascenda, if Lance Hurd goes on to the NFL, which there's rumors he might stay, he might not, and that'll shift the line around. But if we talk about Gabe for a second, if Lance Hurd goes on, could we see him immediately impact us, and could he play right tackle and move Dave over to left like we think Dave will go anyway? But could that be straight 2 freshmen back-to-back seasons getting early play and early play often?
I think Gabriel Ascenda would be depth. I think Dave would move to left, and Jesse Perry is going to play right tackle. And Jesse Perry, in the long run, is going to make more money, right? Because he can play tackle. He's going to make more money at the next level, even if it is right tackle and not left tackle. But Gabriel Ascenda, man, monster, absolute monster. Fun kid, too. We did an interview. If you go to the playlist where we have player interviews, go listen to us hanging out with Big Squish. Fun kid. Coach J for 5 says, pop quiz. What state has produced the most Heisman winners? What's he talking about?
Well, I mean,
I don't know. Do you have the answer?
It's got to be some California.
Cali,
right? Coach J's great.
Dude, the Friday morning show before Vanderbilt, he's in here cussing people out over California football, Texas football, Florida football. I hope things are going well. Coach is out there in the state of Texas. He doesn't know what it is because football is so much bigger in Texas than it is California, so he's learning while he's out there. Go ahead, Scoops. I cut you off.
No, I was just gonna say, man, talking about being a huge pickup. The kid's 6'8", 345, and he's going into his freshman year of college. Like, he's an absolute unit, man. I've seen this kid bullying guys all around, having his senior year at Baylor. Originally, I think from Canada, right? If I'm not wrong, I'm not sure. Yeah, so
3 kids in this class from Canada originally.
Him, Theodore, and who's the third? Combe?
And running back on the way next year.
Yeah, but Combe I think is the third, I believe.
I'm not sure, but talking about the opportunity to kind of come in immediately and make an impact. We saw that this year with David Sanders. I'm not sure if they'd go the freshman route again if Lance Hurd was to leave. Obviously, Boogie said you can slide a Jesse Perry over there. You have an experienced guy that is probably ready to go, like Bennett Warren, that you would love to see some action out of. So seeing those guys that have had some years in the system, and even the class from last year, man, some of these guys on the O-line group just definitely making some strides in their development. But yeah, a 5-star offensive tackle, I think a top 25 player in the country, and we didn't know what we were getting in Gabriel Ascenda. That's like how Boogie said earlier in the show.
That started 3-star U.
A 3-star, man. When he committed, they were like, "Oh, a 3-star U, another 3-star tackle," and he, got the jump on 247 and Rivals. I think he's a composite 5-star at this point. So just an absolute pickup, absolute unit for him, man. And Ellerby, another coach, just like Kelsey Pope last year, that had a lot of fire on them, man. He's put together a pretty impressive class.
But just look how much Dave Sanders grew over the spring and over the summer. And at first you're like, well, can he get the size and the speed and everything in time to play? And then by the time the season rolls around, you're like, how can we keep him off the field? And I can just see kind of the same things with Big Squish there. I'm like, if that kid continues to grow, man, I mean, could you imagine? This kid's going to be an absolute monster. And I'm thinking he's got to play. I mean, I know maybe he doesn't start. Maybe we, it just depends on how all the depth plays out and if our guards stay and things like that. But I'm leaning towards, like, I want that dude on the field, man. That dude's just an absolute beast.
Let me hit a couple more in the chat. Bert Smith for 2 says, buy yourself a much-needed Christmas cake, GBO. I'm going to eat one the second we get off this stream. I'm going to devour it. Ken and Christy Fullington become a member of the channel. Shout out. We appreciate that support. We're 16 memberships away from giving away some free Talkin VAWLS merchandise. There is the link in the chat where you can join the channel. Tyler Maxwell for 2. What's more impressive, number 5 in the country or 2 in the SEC? Man, it's nice to see both of those. We still got about 1,500 people watching live. We are counting down to JJ Finch. I'm starting to wonder if 6 actually meant 6 Central. I'm watching VolQuest. I'm watching Twitter. I'm watching Instagram. We're going to take you all the way up to the decision, and we're going to continue talking early signing day. But if you like what you see here, smash the thumbs up, share out the link. If it's your first time here, subscribe, man. We talk Tennessee football every single day. We do post-game shows after the games. We do Monday morning shows, Friday morning shows with Eric Kane of VolQuest.com. We've had Austin Price of VolQuest on. We've had Brent Hubbs of VolQuest on. We've had Ben McKee on. We've had Jason Swain on. We've had Pancakes and Bacon on. We've had all the experts and the insiders roll through this channel. That is for the fans, by the fans. So if you like it, subscribe and click the bell for notifications. You can also support by going and grabbing some merchandise at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. We've got some not only Christmas ideas, big old coffee mug. We call it a big old coffee mug because it's 15 ounces. We've also got 30-ounce tumblers. I bet Scoops could figure out something to put in these tumblers. But they've got the TN theme. They've got the Talkin VAWLS logo. And this is the challenge to all you men in the chat. Go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS and buy this Buck Fama Christmas tree ornament. That's right. We are selling Christmas tree ornaments that say Buck Fama. Hide it on your Christmas tree. Do not tell your wife where it's at, and see how many years you can get away hiding that ornament. We got hats, t-shirts, rivalry shirts. We got shirts that say Buck Fama, FUGA. You want to keep it a little bit more clean? We've got Beat Georgia, Gator Hater, Beat Bama, whatever you want. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. My kids, their Christmas depends on it, so they appreciate all of you guys that grab merchandise. I want to talk about a specific prospect since we're playing show and tell. You guys, what's going on back there, Scoops? Yeah, was that JJ Finch? I'm looking for JJ Finch. Was that him in the background there?
No,
I do not believe it was.
Mrs. Scoops has entered the building, but no, definitely one that I was thinking about. These kids, phenomenal football athletes. Time zones, not really their thing, I'm guessing. We've seen some mix-ups of time here, but it just kind of goes to show you, man, National Signing Day. Kind of feel like we kind of got that buzz back again for, having that feeling, seeing some flips today go our way. Things happen around other in college football. Talking to some guys on the roster in the locker room that are just kind of sitting back, enjoying the day too. They've been in this process. They're excited for what's coming into Tennessee. They're in the group chat right now, just itching just like we are. Seeing some young guys that were freshmen this year, went through the process last year. So obviously just excited about what's coming in. But, maybe we're leaning 6 or 7, as the kids say. 6, 7. I don't know.
6, 7. Well, let's talk about another guy that we got in this class of 26 that flipped and put pen to paper. That's Carter Gooden, a 4-star defensive lineman, 6'4", 260. Again, a guy that pulls the trigger today. He's been committed to UCLA since July the 10th. Everybody's saying that he wanted to play in the SEC. It was a coin toss. Would it be Tennessee or would it be Vanderbilt? And it's another guy that just kind of quietly commits, puts the pen to paper, and he's ranked inside the top 150. Like this is a dude. Let's go take a listen to this, actually. I found this at 247 Sports talking about this prospect. And let me see if I can find it. I've got way too many tabs open. Where did it go? Don't give up on me. I will find it, I promise.
Morris Dean.
UCLA's top commit, by the way.
I found it. Here's what we want to hear. Carter Gooden. I can't talk. Let's take a listen.
who's maybe a bigger riser that's not necessarily a 5-star?
Carter Gooden. This is a kid that we came across kind of audited up in the Northeast. He's originally from Canada. He is a
There's your third one.
athlete, right? You follow 24/7 Sports. You follow the 105. You know these multi-sport profiles. Just under 6'5", 260 pounds. He is a big-time mover right there in the trenches. Love this, the upside on him, the measurements we have, extremely large features. His recruitment is starting to take off, and I know Tom's going to talk about it, but a natural knee bender, he can find leverage. Reminds me a lot of Anthony Smith at Minnesota. You're looking for a sleeper to go in the first round of the 2026 NFL draft. It is Anthony Smith. Very similar players. These guys are in right now. People that can make an impact every single snap in the middle. So Carter Gooden, certainly someone that has, not only kind of risen in our eyes, but I think a lot of schools around the country have also turned up the heat on him.
I think the big thing about Carter Gooden is I don't think you had a whole lot of defensive linemen, high-end defensive linemen committed in this class. So, Val, getting him added this on signing day, I think was a huge win for Tennessee.
Absolutely. And that just solidifies, I mean, Coach G's the GOAT, man, but Coach G and Coach Chop. But it's just another just elite athlete across this D-line. I guess it's just the track record Tennessee's had of putting edges and D linemen in the next level, and it's just one after the other. I'm not surprised at all. I mean, if with all the stuff UCLA is going on, and I don't know what drew him to UCLA initially, but if I'm a defensive lineman and I'm about to pick a school, why would you not want to come to Tennessee right now? I mean, it's just one after the other. They all, and everybody eats the way we rotate guys in all the time. You're going to play early, you're going to play often. And if you have confidence in yourself to be able to get yourself in up to speed, up to size this early, you're going to play. And I think this is just another guy in the fold that's going to be a huge, huge, huge win for Tennessee.
This is one that I'm really excited about. Obviously, the UCLA commit, but Vanderbilt was making a heavy swing there. They've had some NIL moments, and having some things going their way, and then Tennessee being able to flip it. They've gone really aggressive, whether it's interior D-line, those edge rushers that they're going to eventually move interior. Being able to get this one across the finish line when he is a top 15 edge rusher, the number one player in the state of Massachusetts, a guy that's just been able to kind of make his way known and being a high riser. And Tennessee was able to go there to the Bruin commit, get him to lock in. And this is a kid that he has some experience, man. He's an older guy, more mature. I think this is a really big pickup just for the edge rushing when you have a guy like that demand success, like Coach Chop, that can build you if you trust the process. And I'm fired up for this one, man. I put it in the caption, huge pickup, huge flip for the Vols, one that I think is going to kind of just add a cherry on top, a piece of the pie, because having these guys come in, you got a Hezekiah Harris, you got a Zach Groves, you have Carter Gooden now, you're about to you got the Jordan Carter, who's going to probably go interior, but I just see more competition, more experience, more elite, talent, and seeing those guys being able to go out here, not be scared of the talent, not be scared of going out there and competing. A lot of these quotes have been, hey, I'm ready to go compete with the best of the best in the country, and that's going to be at Tennessee. That's what we want. That's what we have wanted, to see these guys come in, compete, stack depth, not be scared of playing time, NIL, and I think you're kind of seeing those guys go out there and the staff preach that, and it's paying off in dividends.
I think you brought up a good point. Hezekiah Harris, Zach Groves, both committed in this class. Early,
Daryl Rivers.
Yeah, but like I go by rankings. Maybe I'm a stargazer, but I think it gives people in the chat too some perspective of where these guys are at. Hezekiah Harris, number 205, Zach Groves, 237. I would say that's some dang good talent, right? And you mentioned competition and dogs not being scared of competition. So Carter Gooden now commits, ranked 142, and then Jordan Carter, who's on the screen now, ranks 212. Like, those are two guys you added in the final hour that took your defensive line haul in the class of 26 from good to freaking ridiculous, right? It's like the wide receiver room. You look what they added in the wide receiver room. Now, after these two flips today, I'm going from, all right, we a little weak in the defensive line, going to be all right, to, wow, this is a loaded haul for Rodney Garner and Coach Chop.
Well, you got to look, I mean, and I'm looking at 247 here, so correct me if I'm wrong, but 6'4", 260. I mean, coming out of high school, you're 6'4", 260. Well, I mean, I keep harping on this because I know how much these guys are going to grow over the next 6 months and the next year and a half. Like, it's just absolute, just elite talent. And the way Tennessee rotates their linemen, you're going to have an opportunity to show out because you're going to stay fresh. You're going to be developed the best in the country, and you're going to get early opportunities. Coach G is going to put you out there. If you got what it takes, if you put the time in, you put the work in, it's going to show off. So, I mean, well, it's almost too good to be true. As sitting here as a Vol fan sometimes, because I'm like, I feel like I'm just gassing these guys up, but I mean, it's true, man. Like this defensive line class, year after year, just keeps getting better and better and better, and you've got to think like, what is the ceiling for these guys?
It goes back to what you said, though, with the wide receivers. Let the chips fall where they may. That's a good problem to have, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they'll just transfer it. Good. That means that the two that were really good are still going to be here. Go ahead, Scoops.
I was just going to say, yeah, Darrell Rivers, obviously he's below those guys, but Georgia was trying to flip him just today, an in-state guy there that the Bulldogs wanted. And just talking about that, not only obviously going and getting flips of your own, but retaining your guys. And I think Tennessee did that very well. We saw, Tristan Keys and Joel Wyatt over LSU. You saw keeping TJ White and Darion Albert over Mississippi State. And now, being able to, just being able to battle, keeping your guys in the status. This one obviously doesn't go your way. Celeste Moa going to be staying home to play with Utah. That's one that maybe down the line you'll see what happens, and maybe there's some interest there, after his, freshman year at Utah, wanting maybe to be around more elite competition or what. But I think that's a kid that he's done things the right way. I'm going to wish him the best. His dad, family, obviously great people, trusting the process to kind of, try to take that leap from the Big 12, being out there in Utah and going to the SEC, but choosing to stay home doesn't go your way. If that's the one thing that's not going to go your way today, and you're going to avoid other catastrophes like not losing, or you signed Faison Brandon, you signed Tristan Keys, you signed a lot of guys that you wanted, and you were able to battle off a lot of elite programs. I'm all for that, man. And I'm not just going to be trying to be like a sunshine pumper. Oh, this was an extra cherry on top. But when you look at things and our holes and our needs and how things kind of what affects this class and what affects the depth of this program, this is the one we're going to lose. I'm not going to hate it.
Look, here's the deal, man. In-state kid. Dad played at Utah. They overpaid. This is one you can live with losing, right? Now, if he was a Knoxville kid, he was an in-state kid here. His dad played at the University of Tennessee, and Utah came in and overpaid. Foul, that one stings a little bit more. This one, it's kind of like, all right, let's ride with the three that we got.
Well, we kind of listed all those things before. Just the simple home, overpaid, legacy kid. Like, I mean, of course, you just can't be mad at it. Like, is it unfortunate? Yes. Do I want the kid on the Tennessee roster? Absolutely. But it's one of those where I fully understand. There's no hard feelings there. And like Scoop said, never close a door, because that you might find out that you want to see what you look like on the biggest of stages later on down the road. So best of luck to him. And Tennessee's always here when you get ready.
Are we getting breaking news on JJ Finch finally, Scoops? What's going on over there?
I think we're in the process. Some people there in the know have said that he's setting things up. I'm not sure. It should be imminent. We'll get back to it and kind of see how it happens. But
since we're rolling things out live as they happen, a quick Google search says Warren Central's JJ Finch, Jeremy Finch flips commitment from Alabama to Tennessee. What is going on with this? This was at 6:34.
And that's from the Indy Star. He's a athlete there at Warren Central, so that's something definitely to monitor. Haven't seen anything from the VQ guys. Haven't seen anything.
Nothing's on his social media either.
Not on his socials. Was said that he might be doing a school signing, so I'm not sure what's going on there. No Instagram Live. We're looking. I'm refreshing. Get something really official just to have some clarity. But
yeah, there's nothing on.
There it is. Twitter. There it is from Rivals 30 seconds ago. If you go to the Ball Scoops Twitter.
I'm getting there, brother. I'm getting there.
X, whatever you want to call it.
Over on the Twitterverse.
That Ball Scoops guy's a little slow to the trigger here. I'm waiting on it to update. All right,
minutes.
Boom. It is official. JJ Finch is in the boat. Not a real surprise here. This is what we kind of expected to happen. Again, it was Alabama, but he was going to make that final decision. Again, Foul Ming, you talk about size, 6'3", 278 as a high school senior, a guy that's a 3-star. Rivals has him as a 4-star. No big surprise here. It's official. He is in the boat. Let's go take a look and see where we're at. Now, we dropped from 5th to 7th when Moa dropped out. I'm waiting to see if it updates on JJ Finch. They're still waiting to update the site there. But right now showing us 7th.
Anytime you flip a commitment from Alabama, especially in the trenches, a 4-star defensive lineman, one that you were itching at from a powerhouse there in Warren Central up there in Indiana, man. I'm fired up for this one. A lot of guys in these high school days, you look for developmentally, you look to kind of go and get those guys that have a couple years in the system. I think JJ Finch is a guy that can come in year one, make his presence felt, and go out there and compete, man. He's an absolute dog unit. I'm sure coach has been watching the film like crazy, but this is the guy that I'm fired up for. Rodney Garner was this is one that he really wanted, and I think that Tennessee fans, man, they're going to be excited about this pickup, man. Any day you go and get a pickup over Alabama is great, but seeing them lose wide receivers and now a guy like JJ Finch, who could have been an immediate impact for that class, I'm smiling, man.
Well, first and foremost, Buck family, get that out of the way. But anytime you can get one over on Bama, it's a huge win. But I think this goes right back in the conversation we just had a few minutes ago. It's the fact that you can show up early, dedicate yourself to Rodney Garner and his program, and you can play early and often. The way we rotate guys in, we just proved it over and over and over. If you put in the work, you'll be developed here. You'll be in the rotation and have a chance to show out. So just another win for Coach Garner, Coach Chop.
Let me hit a few more super chats here. J Ball for 2 said, did I hear 6 Central, 7 Eastern, 6, 7? Brandon Bell's been a member for 4 months. Shout out, Brandon. We appreciate you. Lance for 5 says, Scoops, I've been following you on Instagram for a long time. I'm an idiot and didn't connect that you were part of this channel. Scoops, you just got added. Dude, it was Legend Bay.
Legend Bay's commitment.
Dude, I was just talking about that, man. I was telling my wife about it because it was so funny. Because it was me, Foul, and Coach Jay doing the Legend Bay commitment, and it was one of these where it was pushed back over an hour. We had talked an hour and 5 minutes just about Legend Bay. It's not like today where we had plenty to talk and get into. And Coach Jay had to leave. He had some family stuff going on. Scoops jumped on here. We were off to the races, and, man, it was just a perfect fit. It's been fun. Scoops knows his stuff when it comes to recruiting, so he's a great addition to the channel. Jamie Roberts has been a member for 39 months. Is the Hyder situation a deal where the longer it goes, the better you feel about it? Did he ever sign? Did we ever see anything?
No, he's not signed yet, and I wouldn't say the better you feel about it for Tennessee-wise. Never say never about conversations that can happen, but as of right now, for a school like Michigan that went all in on him, to see even Franklin even have a chance, or maybe you have a conversation with him on the Tennessee side, it's crazy to see that happen after how committed he said he was.
And Hyder's out of Virginia too, right?
Yeah, he's from, I don't want to say Salem, but he might be Salem.
Chesapeake, maybe.
I thought it was Salem.
Maybe it is Salem. I've looked at so many recruits today.
My head's starting to spin. Wait, did I hit Jamie? Yeah, I got Jamie's. Tanner Bean Dirty Power became a member of the channel. We appreciate that. Valued client. Gifted 20 Talkin VAWLS membership. That is the equivalent of $100 super chat. I think I said 50 last time. It's 100. Let's play the clip.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 million man.
Shout out valued client. Papa T for 2 says, we flipped him. Finch is in the boat. Wayne drops a 20 spot and says, great class. Go Vols. We'll play the clip.
Rocky Top!
All right, so here's the deal. You guys got over 35 memberships gifted or joined on the show. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to give away some free Talkin VAWLS membership. Jay Dyer Vol for life also became a member of the channel. Here's what you got to do. We're about to wrap the show. Once we wrap the show, you got to come back and leave a comment. Not in the live chat. It's got to be a comment after we go off air. And I want you to comment and tell me who your favorite commit is in this class of 2026 and tell me why. I will choose one of you and gift a free Talkin VAWLS membership the next time we go live. We'll do that. But now I'm going to ask Foul Ming and I'm going to ask Scoops to tell me who their favorite commit is in this class and why. You ain't got to be long-winded, 10 minutes. We're wrapping the show. Just tell me who that favorite commit is and why.
Okay, I don't understand how we went the whole show without talking about. We have a 23-year-old punter.
No way.
Yes,
what
Logan
are we
Foley,
doing?
Logan Foley signed with the Vols from Australia. He's going to be coming in here to punt a Jackson Ross 2.0. The kid is 23. He's going to be a freshman in the class. Absolutely crazy. But no, in all seriousness, man, I'm going to have to take a one on each side for favoritism issues. Obviously, when you get a 5-star wide receiver like Tristan Keys, being able to get him in the boat over LSU, absolute unit. A guy, just being able to build a relationship with him, knowing him as a person, I'm fired up for him. Knowing the level of competition he's going to have in this class. And another one, man, obviously has to be my guy, Braden Rouse, 4-star linebacker. That's my dog. Being able to see him, his thing, the recruitment here that we got viral for, went around on X of us being fired up about him when we didn't know he was actually going to come here. A lot of Texas steam. He stayed in the boat. A great kid, even better family. Been on the Talkin VAWLS channel a lot, so fired up about him. Just this class in general, man. It's hard to not pick someone else like Faison Brandon or TJ White, but those are my dogs.
Well,
no meat on the
Scoops,
bone.
I was going to say Scoops took them all. So is there anybody left?
Let me spin the wheel. No, I had two on my mind, and he actually left one out, oddly enough. So we got to look at Joel White, man, because we're in a definite need for safety. He wants to play safety. I don't know. I'm with this staff. I don't know. He's so at 6'4", 195 is what I got him listed here on 247. I can't read what you got on the screen there if that's close, but I mean, that just an elite athlete and talent that we could have at the safety position. Even if he has to step down and play edge or play that Leo, I don't know exactly where he's going to fall, but that one may be in terms of this question, I may be the most excited to see where his development takes him and just see what he can become here at Tennessee. So I'm going to say, give me Joel White to see what happens over the next 4 years.
I'm going to go 2-for-1 special. And I was talking in the video I made about Legend Bay, and somebody goes, I don't care about Legend Bay. I need linebackers. And I said, well, it's funny that you asked because we have two linebackers, both ranked in the top 100, and Braden Rouse and TJ White both committed within a week of each other. They're dogs. They're dudes. The Braden Rouse live commitment getting clipped and put out all over social media was one of the most fun. That was the most genuine, authentic moment in recruiting because none of us were sure. We were not sure. We had no idea what was going on. And when Braden Rouse chose Tennessee, man, we were fired up. That was raw. That was real. You ain't getting that nowhere else. The experts, the insiders ain't celebrating a victory like that the way that we did. It getting clipped, Braden seeing it, Braden coming on the channel, all kinds of fun. I enjoyed that one. Let's see here.
How great is this class, by the way? Just real quick, how great is this class, by the way, that none of us just picked any of the 5 stars? Is what we're most excited to see. Like, this class is stacked.
Well, I think we're spoiled because Josh Heupel's always going to go out and get a highly rated quarterback. And I like, you could go with Faison Brandon, and I like Faison Brandon because he committed early, and he was the leader of this class, right? He was peer recruiting Tristan Keys. Yeah. He was peer recruiting Legend Bay. The pictures with him, and they're posed, all 3 of them, like all that type of stuff. But I think that's the obvious low-hanging fruit. Terrence for 5 says, is it fair to compare Faison to Jaden Daniels from a play style perspective? Thoughts on that?
Just being a dual threat, absolutely. I mean, he's shown what he can do with his feet and his arm. So I could see the comparison there. You still got to wait and develop. You don't want to put the cart before the horse, but from a dual threat perspective, absolutely.
That's a pretty good comparison. Just everything we've seen out there, at Greensboro and at Grimsley and out there. A guy that's a true athlete, man, able to make plays on his feet. The way he's able to kind of just sling the ball with ease kind of reminds you of a Jaden Daniels, able to make plays. Just a pure athlete, but also a great shot caller and game manager, man. And he didn't play a lot in his senior year. Had that injury there with his hand, came back, fired up, and just went off again first game like it was nothing. So seeing that he didn't, skip a beat, he's been fresh, he's focused and prepared, obviously building this class. Yeah, man, on the field, that guy is an absolute unit. We'll see what happens when he's done that now in high school, but he's about to have a whole nother level of talent around him. And when he's able to play his best and bring out the best, I'm ready to see what Josh Heupel can do with a quarterback like Faison.
Look at the tools he's going to have around him, man. Like his I was going to say this earlier. G-Mac and Faison must be having their mouth must just absolutely be watering. I mean, look at all the talent Josh Heupel and company is surrounding them with. I mean, if you're a quarterback,
that goes both
you
ways,
have to
Rob.
want to be here, man.
That goes both ways because guys like Tristan Keys, guys like Legend Bay, guys like Tyreek King, they want a quarterback that can sling them the rock, and they know that Josh Heupel's always going to recruit an elite
nothing else, he proved it. Give me 3 months, I'll get you the rock. Give me 3 months, I'll find you somebody.
3 months post spring, foul.
You can show out here. Yeah,
come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like when there was nobody else on the planet, he goes and gets Joey Aguilar and leads the conference in passing yards. It's ridiculous. Josh Heupel is always going to have a quarterback as long as he is on right top. This has been a fun one, man. Early signing day. I don't think anybody on the interwebs does recruiting quite the way we do on the Talkin VAWLS Network. It's been a blast. Shout out to Scoops. Shout out to Fowl for jumping on with us. We miss Coach Jay. Smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Share out the link. Let people catch the rewatch. Go leave a comment after this video is over. Put your favorite player in this class of 26, and one of you guys is going to be winning some free Talkin VAWLS merchandise. But that is going to do it. I almost said Coach Jay. I'm so used to him being up there. For Foul Ming, for Scoops, my name is Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go Big Orange.
That we call